Hello guys, welcome back to another video, and today I am reviewing one of my most anticipated movies of the year, Spider-Man Brand New Day, starring Tom Holland, Zendaya, Sadie Sink, Jacob Batalon, Jon Bernthal, and Mark Ruffalo. A forgotten Peter Parker lives alone as a full-time Spider-Man until mounting pressure triggers a dangerous change and a powerful new enemy emerges. Now, as you guys know, Spider-Man is my favourite superhero of all time. Him and Batman are the two big ones. And I was really excited to see this movie. I'm obviously more excited for Avengers Doomsday because, like, it's the first Avengers movie in, like, gosh, 8 years. So it is one of those things where, like, Doomsday definitely feels bigger and grander, and this movie was right underneath Doomsday as my second most anticipated movie of the year. Because of where Tom's Spider-Man was left after No Way Home, which is my favourite movie of all time. And that was so exciting to me because, like, you're coming off the back of No Way Home, it's been the first Spider-Man movie in 5 years, which is crazy. Which normally we get them every 2 years. The Tom Holland ones at least. So I was very excited for this movie. Now, I knew that it probably wasn't going to reach the highs of No Way Home, but I knew that it was going to push Tom Holland's Spider-Man into the right direction. Getting into the movie itself, right? And this is going to be a non-spoiler review. I want to talk about non-spoilers. I will do a spoiler review. I was going to do one for Toy Story 5, but then I was like, nah, that one's more personal to me. The Toy Story franchise is more of a personal thing, where, like, I grew up with those movies, but I would prefer talking about a comic book movie like this. So, I will do a spoiler review. I've actually started taking down notes for spoiler review, so I will do that. I'm going to see it a second time before I do a spoiler review. And then what I'll do is that I'll do rankings and that type of stuff. What made me happy by the trailers in this for this movie, and even the movie itself, right, was the street levelness of it all. Because it does feel big, but not since Spider-Man 2 have we felt this sense of, like, street levelness. Like, yeah, all the Spider-Man movies have a sense of street levelness to them, but, like, Spider-Man 3, like, you have Venom and Sandman trying to turn New York into a dust bowl. You have Lizard, he's trying to turn the whole city into lizards. And then, like, Electro and Goblin are trying to turn off the power grid and to the whole city and stuff like that. So, and then, like, Homecoming kind of brought us back to that low stakes. But this movie did it way better than Homecoming did. And I like Homecoming. I think that Homecoming is a really fun movie. And it's one of those things where, like, I love having a Spider-Man as a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Even though I love seeing him interact with the Avengers and going into space with Infinity War and stuff, it's like, but Spider-Man as, like, the core of his character is being friendly neighborhood. And I'm happy that they gave it to him in this movie. I thought that was amazing. And I thought that was great. This movie takes elements of different Spider-Man movies. There are elements of Spider-Man 2. There's elements of the PS4 game, like, even to the point where, like, he's helping with the police, and a lot of the finishing moves are basically, like, based on the PS4 game, and even, like, him having friends with the girl from the second charge from Daredevil Born Again. Felt very much like the PS4 games, like how he had a chick that works for the police in the game, and he would always go like, "Oh, hey Yuri, have you heard about this?" So it felt very much like that, which I liked. I thought that was great. And seeing the different elements, it's almost like they were like, "Oh, let's do the greatest hits," type thing. And there is a Spider-Man 2002 reference in this movie that is totally different from what was in 2002, but it reminded me of that scene. I'll get into that scene more when we talk about spoilers, because that is a moment that I was like, WTF, what is going on? And that was a moment that I was like, oh god, how are you going to redeem yourself from this? Yeah, no, so, we'll talk about that more in spoilers. I probably gave too much away then, but, this movie delivers on the best Spider-Man fight scenes that we've ever seen in a movie. Like, I love the Spider-Man Kondo fight in No Way Home. I love the final battle in No Way Home. I love the final battle in Far From Home. I love the Mysterio sequence. I love the Molten Man sequence. I love the... I'm not going to go through a whole list, but I love the train scene in Spider-Man 2. I love the first encounter with the Goblin in the first one. I love the whole Spider-Man Sandman fight in the subway in Spider-Man 3. TASM 2, I love the fights with Electro because it gives a different feel when you have a villain like Electro in movies like that. Even one of the fights that I don't hate, I just think that it's a boring lead up to get to it, but I do think it's a good fight, is the high school fight in TASM 1. Where he goes up against the Lizard. I think that's a good fight. So, there's lots of good fights, but there's fights in this movie that is like, this is Spider-Man, like, that we've never seen him before in live action. Like, we see him in the comics, we've seen him in the animated series, but even in the games, but not in a movie. So I was happy to see what Dustin Daniel Crain did with the fights in this movie, especially since Jackie Chan's stunt team apparently worked on the stunts in this movie, so I was happy to hear that they were able to deliver on some of the epic Spider-Man fights. I thought that was so good. In terms of the fight scenes, and especially in terms of the swinging scenes, this movie is very TASM 2. When it comes to the web swinging. Because you have the wrinkles in the suit when he's web swinging and stuff, and which is something that we really loved about TASM 2, which was so good. And we never really got that with Tom Holland's Spider-Man, which I thought was really cool. So I thought that was absolutely amazing. I absolutely loved it. There was a lot of emotional stuff in this movie, and there was really shocking things in this movie that I was like, no way that they are going that way. But we'll talk about that when I do my spoiler review. A big question that I had going into this movie: how are you going to take an R-rated character like John Berthol's Punisher and make him a main character in a PG or PG-13 or rated M movie? I'm not gonna lie, they did a pretty good job with working him into this. He has a bigger role than I expected. Unlike another character, which we will get to. But yeah, no, I thought that he was really great in this, and they actually gave him a really good character arc. And he has a really great relationship with Spider-Man. Their banter is really good. I love that. Tom Holland said that he wants to do a Spider-Man crossover on the Punisher show. Like, absolutely, give him that, please. I thought that would be so good. Okay, so let's talk about the Hulk stuff. I was happy to see Mark Ruffalo return as Bruce in this movie, especially since we haven't seen him since She-Hulk. So I was curious of how they were going to weave the character in this movie. I'm just going to warn you now, because I was kind of shocked by this too. They are longer, but don't expect... and we'll talk about my Hulk problem when we get to spoilers. But don't expect him, and I mean as both, Bruce or Smart Hulk and things like that. Don't expect him to be in a lot of the movie. I thought that he was going to play a bigger role, to be honest. Because we all know that a lot of people, I haven't complained about this, but I know a lot of you have, is going like, oh, Spider-Man always needs a parent superhero in his solo movies. This movie proves that you don't need it, which is great. But I thought that, like, just the way that some of the trailers were edited and stuff, I thought that Hulk was going to play a bigger role than he did. And I'm keeping that vague, okay? I'm not trying to spoil anything. I'm just saying that, like, I'm trying to keep it as vague as possible. I'm just saying I was kind of disappointed with the way that they used Hulk in this movie. Not that it was a bad thing, not that they used him horribly, not like they treated him dirty or anything, but there was a way that I thought that he was going to be used, and I was kind of disappointed about that. But anyway, this is a very... I'm not spoiling this, but all I'm going to say is that I knew that this movie was apparently going to have a controversial ending. So I went into it with that open mind. I was like, okay, what are you giving to us? Are you going to make me go like, oh, okay, this is a really good ending, or are you going to piss me off? Because if you do something controversial, like Last Jedi, and I'm one of the people that, like, in terms of Star Wars, I like Last Jedi, right? You guys, hopefully you guys have seen my review leading up to Mando and Grogu, which I haven't reviewed yet, but when it gets to Disney Plus, I will. I like Last Jedi, right? I like the risk that it takes. But I also feel like that I'm not as big of a Star Wars fan as I am a Spider-Man fan. And a Marvel fan in general. So, when you do something to my favourite character, my favourite character of all time, and I don't like it, you'll really piss me off. Not to have anything spoiled for anyone. But as you guys know, I went into it with that mindset. I watched it and I was like, how is this controversial? That's actually really of a clever ending. I can see why someone would question it. Especially the way that the same kind of thing happened earlier in the movie and didn't go so well. But I thought that the way that, like, after a certain scene with Spidey in an apartment, that's all I'll say. After that scene and one of the characters say something of like, he can handle it, I was like, okay, what are they going to do with this? So, not to spoil anything, but I thought that was actually a really great ending, and I thought it was a great through line from the home trilogy into Brand New Day. I thought that was great. And I want to know if that was actually an idea of the scriptwriters, or that was actually Tom Holland's idea to do that. Especially since the way that another character kind of says something. I'm like, does he? So, I kind of left it vague enough that the people that don't want to get spoiled, they kind of go like, oh, what's he talking about? But it's enough that, like, the people that have seen the movie know what I'm talking about. I'm going to give Spider-Man Brand New Day 4.5 out of 5 stars. This movie blew me the frick away. This is the best way possible. In the best way possible, I think. And I think that having a street-level Spider-Man that we've been waiting for is great. I think that this movie was absolutely incredible. For my favourite character of all time. And honestly, I will do a spoil review because there's something that I did not mention for a reason. Because I was like, well, if I mention anything about a certain character or a certain actress, people are going to go like, oh, Jesus, this. So, yeah. So, guys, I will do a spoil review. I'll do a ranking next week. I'll do maybe some... maybe I might do a tier list of the suits. I'll do that next week. I'll do a lot of things next week in terms of Spider-Man Brand New Day. So guys, please hit the like button down below if you haven't already. Hit subscribe, press the little bell icon to get notified of future videos I make. And I'll see you guys next time. Take care. Bye.
Hey there. Subscribe to my channel. And also press this bell icon.